Commercial truck safety. It is back in the spotlight as the Trump administration steps up enforcement against illegal immigrants driving big rigs following a series of deadly semi-crashes. At the same time, the administration is working to strengthen the nation's trucking workforce.
As part of that effort, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, he has launched Freedom Haulers, a new initiative to recruit military veterans into commercial trucking ahead of the National Hire a Veteran Day.
The administration says veterans bring the discipline, the training needed to help keep America's highways safe.
And the secretary making the announcement on X saying this: America's brave veterans answered the call to defend our freedom. We want those same strong values of duty, grit, and discipline on America's roads for another mission. Trucking, new mission, same dedication.
The recruitment push comes as the trucking industry continues to face a driver shortage.
It's a pretty big one. According to the American Trucking Association, the industry short about 60,000 drivers and will need to recruit more than 1 million new drivers over the next decade. The Bureau of Labor Statistics also projects around 240,000 truck driver openings each year as trucks move more than 70% of the nation's freight.
Joining us now to discuss, Executive Vice President of the Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association, Louis Pugh, who received his trucking license while he was serving in the Army, along with founder of Top Gun Options and decorated Navy F-18 fighter pilot Matthew Wiz Buckley. Also with us, retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel, former DHS Senior Advisor Berney. Gentlemen, good to see all of you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Louis, let's start with you. I mean, our veterans, they want to go to work, and your industry has a need. This is a match made in heaven.
Yeah, I mean, truckers have always been veterans, and truckers are very patriotic. I was a trucker in the United States Army, received my CDL sort of this same way through the military. Our organization is made up of about 40% of veterans of our 150,000 members across this country. So yeah, this is a natural switch for truckers. I mean, the big thing we have to keep in mind here, though, truckers have already been trained. They've already proved that they are loyal to this country. And these are the kind of people we want behind the wheel. They've already shown that. They know how to react and know how to think. But we want to make sure we pay them and take care of them correctly, too, because we really don't have a trucker shortage. We have a huge trucker turnover problem with people coming in industry and not staying.
So it sounds like the compensation isn't what they would like it to be. Why else would you leave said industry if that wasn't the case? So, Colonel, talk about why a veteran makes for a good trucker. Also, your advice, you think they should take them up on it? And the way I understand it is a lot of the training is already going to be covered because they are vets.
Well, Bob and Shannon, there's nothing wrong with this. This is an absolutely outstanding move by the government. And, but here's the deal. I mean, you've got foreigners coming in here that don't have proper vetting. And an 80,000-pound truck can cause a lot of problems in the wrong hands. In the meantime, you've got soldiers, former military people that are already trained. They don't need much to be trained up. And you also got the GI Bill. A lot of these people, the training will be paid for by the United States government. It's total win-win.
Matthew, I want to bring you into the conversation. I think many times our veterans are misunderstood. They come out of the military, they leave the military, and the detransitioning back to civilian life, it can be really brutal. They're used to waking up at a certain time, the rigors of serving in the military, the discipline, and then you step into a society that has really none of it. This is really a perfect fit.
You nailed it, Shannon. And, I run the No Fallen Heroes Foundation as well. The government does a great job turning us into humans that can do some pretty awful things to other humans. And when they're done with us, they do a pretty bad job of training us back to being a human. But Colonel Flowers nailed it. Folks, the reason this is making news is because these illegals are killing Americans. These are weapons, as he alluded to. Let me go one step further, folks, and I hate bringing this energy out there, but every time there's a school shooting, it breaks my heart. Why? Those are soft targets. Do you know how many veterans, in addition to trucking, we could employ? These veterans have weapons training. They had a clearance at some point in time. You could put these folks in some sort of uniform and defend our soft targets. So talk about making our roads safer with these veterans. How about making our soft targets? We have armed guards at banks. Why don't we have veterans protecting our schools?
That's such a great point.
Yeah.
There are so many needs this country has, and so many of them would be perfect fits for veterans here. Louis, I want to talk about compensation, which you pointed out. There's been a lot of turnover in the trucking industry, and sometimes vets, they go into it and they're saying, you know what, I'm going to move on to something else. What is going on?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, truckers usually are paid by the mile piecework instead of by the hour, although every single thing they do is controlled by hours of service. So we need to address that. And a huge thing that needs to be addressed is overtime compensation. The American trucker has been exempt from overtime since 1938. So that's a little bit, it's a little bit overdue, needing change. There's plenty of ways to know where drivers are. Drivers are giving away 20 to 30 hours a week on average if they're an over-the-road trucker. And these people should be compensated for this. They're not home with their families. They're not doing the things they want to do. They're sitting in a loading dock or a receiving dock somewhere, just waiting to be loaded or unloaded. So it's a huge problem, along with the training. I mean, the whole reason that these foreign folks and stuff have made it behind the wheel is because we have lowered the barrier of entry to trucking to where it's almost nothing. And that's the good thing about these veterans. They're well trained in the military. I was well trained in the military to drive a truck. That's more than we can say out here in a commercial. There's CDL mills out here right now that FMCSA is cracking down on, thankfully, that are training truckers in less than 24 hours to get you a CDL. It takes 1,600 hours to get your harbor license in the state of Missouri.
Good point.
So it's just crazy.
Well, we appreciate your time, your thoughts. We'll be watching the program. We're very excited about it. Gentlemen, thank you.